Welcome to the Inside Source Executive Interview Series. My name is Dawn Tiura, and I'm President and CEO of Sourcing Industry Group. And with me today is Dan Carrell, and he's the Vice President of Global Procurement at IBM. So Dan, thank you for joining me today. I'd like to just go a little bit over your bio because it's absolutely incredible. You're responsible for global procurement operations, client engagements and satisfaction, supplier diversity, procurement transformation and strategy, as well as divestiture and acquisition. And you lead a team of over 1,000 procurement professionals worldwide, supporting more than 3,000 client engagements with contracts of over $20 billion per year.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's a diverse team, it's a diverse mission, but it's exciting. And that's what I love about it, is every day something different, new environment, new client, new sourcing event taking place around the world. So I love what I do. I love the fast-paced nature of it. It's fun.
So what would you say, I mean, with the diversity that you do handle, what would you say is the biggest challenge for today's sourcing professional?
You know, what I see and what we are experiencing is that the rate and pace of business is just continuing to accelerate more and more. And so for us to be able to be agile enough to be able to respond to the business, to be able to drive the outcomes that are needed in a fast, agile way, that's a challenge for us. That's something that I think many procurement organizations around the world are struggling with. So that's one. The other thing I think that we continue to see is that big data is the theme of the day. But how do you really extract the insights and the understanding and the themes and the value from that data? And so we have lots of information. It's how do you find your way through all of that information to really extract the value?
Well, you're IBM. If anyone can do it, it should be IBM, right?
And we're excited about it. I think we're on a good path, and we've got some really, really exciting tools, capabilities, initiatives that we're bringing online that we think is going to really revolutionize how we source and how we run the procurement function.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell me about the procurement professional 5 years from now. What will be different from the procurement professional that we see today in the market?
Yeah, I think, this is a conversation I have frequently with my team. The procurement professional of the past, we've always looked for deep category expertise, someone that's a subject matter expert in procurement that knows how to handle contracts and manage relationships, which I think those skills are still important and foundational. But more and more, we're looking for procurement professionals who have data and analytics capability. We're looking for procurement professionals who have consultative skills that can really partner with the business in a deep way. We named a chief data officer for global procurement.
You did?
In the last 12 months.
Wow.
in IBM, which is a role that we never envisioned having even a couple years ago. I hired 4 data scientists.
I was just going to say, would you hire a data scientist within procurement?
I've just hired 4 data scientists
Wow.
into global procurement in the last 12 months. And that's a very different role. It's a very different skill set. But we see that as the real opportunity to start to unlock new value and enable our sourcing teams, our professionals around the world with insights that they've never had before.
And then you're going to share it with all of the rest of the SIG members, right?
Exactly, of course.
Exactly. So cognitive computing, do you see that impacting you sooner or later, or what's your timeline there?
Yeah, so we at IBM, obviously, cognition, Watson, we think that capability is going to redefine markets, redefine functions, redefine work that's done. And so absolutely we believe cognitive is going to change how we run procurement. We see cognition in systems that can learn, systems that can handle unstructured data, really helping us to unlock new ways of assessing markets, assessing pricing and competitiveness, managing risk. You start to think about the big data behind each of those processes that we run today, and we're just scratching the surface, right? They say, I've seen statistics that 85% of the world's data is unstructured. We've never had good insights into that information before.
Right.
But now that we have tools and capabilities that can manage that massive amount of unstructured information, bring insights into us from that information, and that then we can put to work as procurement professionals, as sourcing professionals around the world, that's new insight, right? That's new value.
And do you think it's going to raise and help elevate the industry when we start using that data?
Absolutely. I think, we've always, in this profession, wanted a seat at the table. I think we've gotten a seat at the table. I think this allows us now to bring new insights to those conversations. And, you think about sourcing a category, managing a relationship, those are things we've done for a while. I think really the new frontier of bringing value and insight is going to be from data and cognition and systems that can learn, machine learning, and allow us to, have a new conversation with the business about trends and opportunities and how we can go exploit those.
I'm excited to see how it's going to impact us on risk, identifying risk ahead of the curve.
I talk to a lot of CPOs, as do you, and risk is always one of the top 2 or 3 things that's on everyone's mind. And absolutely, we think, risk is a big data equation, isn't it? I mean, you're looking at all of the different feeds on where we get risk insights and how we can then take that information and make smarter decisions about what we're seeing out there. And we think cognitive is going to really reshape how we think about risk. We've deployed some tools now, more kind of weather-related kind of events, but you start to think about expanding that into political risks and financial risks and cyber risks and getting into all of those areas. We think cognitive systems can transform how we think about that and manage risk.
So since you're going to be managing, or you're going to be implementing so many new things, do you think these will become commercial applications that will then be available to other professionals?
Absolutely. There's a market out there for this capability. I'll tell you, in IBM, we're building these tools and these capabilities to transform how we run procurement to support our enterprise. But we absolutely see a market for this capability out there. Every CPO I talk to about these cognitive systems and capabilities, are interested. They want to buy. They want this capability for their function. And so I think there's absolutely a market for that. Obviously, IBM hopes to have a place in there, and I'm sure many others will jump in there as well. But yeah, there's this. I think once the market will be established based on the value, and so I think once we can make these systems come to life, which they are coming to life, and these intelligent applications are starting to reveal insights that we've never seen before, I don't think there's a business out there that's not going to want that.
And I love the term when John Scully told us yesterday, he was talking about how we used to live in linear times and now we're living in exponential times.
Absolutely.
And it's exciting.
It is. I mean, you look at some of the data behind the Internet of Things and connected devices and just, millions and billions of, new data points that we're having access to and insight from.
It's so exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Well, thank you. I'm just going to wrap it up and I want to thank Dan Carrell. I want to thank IBM for being such a great partner to SIG and for contributing so much thought leadership. So Dan, thank you so much.
Wonderful to be here. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today for another edition of the Inside Source Executive Interview Series.